Colette, you're heading in the airport in a few hours. Wow. Hey, YouTube is live. Hi, guys. Welcome, our YouTube crowd. Welcome to Sunday Morning Cruise Chat Live. I'm Walter, your host. I'm your independent travel advisor. And as always, my wife, Rebecca, is sitting right off camera. We've got Colette is heading to the airport in a couple hours. She's going on a Northern Isles cruise. Oh, my gosh, Colette, I can't wait to see the pictures. If you're not in our Facebook group yet, folks out there, we have a private Facebook group. We love seeing your pictures of your travels. Colette shared some amazing photos from Alaska. And hey, before I forget, I'm just going to kick this right off. On Thursday, we are scheduled to have Royal Caribbean joining us at 8:30 p.m. on Thursday night on our YouTube channel. Kathy from Royal Caribbean is scheduled to come over. This past Thursday, we kind of had to postpone because there was some bad weather down in Miami and it knocked out the power for poor Lily. So we're going to reschedule Norwegian Cruise Line to come back. But this coming Thursday, we are scheduled to have Royal Caribbean join us for 1 hour on the YouTube channel, Where's Walter Travel. So make sure you come on over if you got questions about the Icon of the Seas, want to talk about pizza, talk about anything to do with Royal Caribbean.
I don't know.
Come on
just
over.
Avoid the pizza.
The pizza thing. It's over anyway. The CEO said they're not going to charge for it. So Thursday night, come on over and join us on the YouTube channel for Royal Caribbean. Kathy from Royal Caribbean is going to be coming on over. Hey, we got Norma, we got Becky, we got Fred. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining in. And if y'all have questions about cruising, by all means, please jump in and let's start the conversation. And my goodness, Colette, you're getting ready to go on the Northern Isles. And by the way, if you like what we're doing, please, A, subscribe to the channels on TikTok and YouTube, and B, hit those like buttons so that both platforms know you actually like what we're doing. I mean, I hope you like what we're doing. We're having fun doing it. So Frank is asking, do the plastic ships actually talk to you? Yes, they do, Frank. I'm not going to tell you what it said, though. It's private between me and the ship. Carrie, Cozumel Carnival Breeze with the kids for the first time. Yay! That's awesome. Oh, taking the kids. Hey, Joe, you're on your honeymoon. Get off the show. Come on, man. Go have a good time. But thank you for joining in. Joe is enjoying the RIU Resort. We booked them down there for their honeymoon, and it's an all-inclusive resort. Oh, my goodness gracious. Wow. Hey, Norma is saying that they just got off the MSCC side, and I love this comment. We had a great time for what we paid for. That's how you have to look at MSC, and that's how you have to look at some of the lower cost cruise lines. It's like you may not get everything that, say, Royal or Norwegian has, but you're also not paying the same price at those cruise lines. So, Norma, I'm glad you had a great time. We had a great time on the MSCC side. Absolutely. Good morning, Cindy. 13 days to your cruise. Oh, my goodness. Wow. I cannot wait to hear more about that when you guys go. Frank, the great pizza scandal of 2023. I love that. It'll be pizza. No, we already had a pizza gate, didn't we? Yeah, so we can't use that. But my goodness, yes, the great pizza scandal, the Royal Caribbean pizza scandal. We're not really going to talk about that on Thursday night. No. Bigger Andrew, you're going on the Carnival Celebration in January. Nice. I love it. You know, we went on the Mardi Gras, fabulous ship. I really want to go on the Celebration, and I really want to go on the Jubilee. I love what the Jubilee had done with that underwater theming. Oh, my goodness, which is actually kind of ironic, you know, underwater theming on a ship. Don't really want to be underwater when you're on a ship, but it looks like fun. Hey, Bill, good morning. Good morning. Diane, do we have Viking River Cruise on? Yeah, well, we do. Yes, we do represent Viking. We do river and ocean.
And expedition.
And expedition, yeah, we do all three. And of course, we also represent AMA Waterways and Avalon and Uniglobe and Emerald and Scenic. So we do represent them all. Let's see, I want a smaller boat and not a huge ocean liner, your suggestion. Well, I mean, all of the Vikings are smaller. And then even Oceania has like 700 as well.
All the river cruising is smaller.
Yeah, I mean, the river cruising is only,
by necessity.
I think it's 190 people at the maximum, but usually like around 150. So, but if you're looking for a smaller ocean, I mean, certainly you can reach out. There's contact links right there on TikTok where you can reach out. But any Viking ship is automatically going to be smaller than any other ship that you've been on, any of the mainstream cruise lines. And then, like I said, you know, I got Oceania, I got Azamara, we got so many others as well. So I don't really have a suggestion because I don't really know where you want to go because the ships go all over the world. But They're fabulous. I will tell you that. They're absolutely amazing. We have not had a client complain about a single Viking cruise yet. So yeah, they're beautiful. Why don't you reach out? Let's talk. I actually got a bunch of meetings this afternoon right after the show, talking to various clients about multiple cruises. In fact, one of them, that's going to be a fun one. We have a client who literally said, I don't want to go to the Caribbean. That was pretty much the directive. I don't want to go to the Caribbean. Pretty much the rest of the world was open. So we've come up with 4 different itineraries that represent 4 different points of the globe. And then hopefully to help, start to narrow that down. And then once they narrow down the region, then we can jump in, because there will usually be, say, 4 or 5 different ships that we can choose from once they narrow down that region. But that's kind of fun. That's a broad stroke. Typically we don't really like to go that broad a stroke, but it's like, you know what? Yeah, here you go. We're going to come up with some stuff. So to reach out, Diana. Let's talk. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, AJ Rome. How are you? Joe, you have a full report on the RIU Palace Riviera Maya when I get back. Say that 5 times real fast. Joe, I'm glad you guys are having a great time. Thank you so much for allowing us to be your travel partner. We're so excited. I can't wait to hear about that, because we've not been there. Jen, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining in. AJ's going on the Serenade of the Seas, September 4th. Lovely. Adrena went on Royal Caribbean last week. Fantastic. Yeah, Joe, can't wait to hear the difference between your take on the cruise versus the all-inclusive. Hey, Jill, good morning. How are you? After the celebration this year, you're also booked under Jubilee. That'll be cool. I think it'd be kind of fun to do, like, Mardi Gras, Celebration, Jubilee, kind of do them back to back. You can see the evolution of the ship. That would be a lot of fun, but that's awesome. By the way, speaking of evolution of a ship, if you're not watching Tested on YouTube, the Adam Savage channel from Mythbusters, he's doing a whole series on the building of the Sun Princess. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. They're giving him like total access to the ship right now. So he's got 3 episodes up there. So if you really want to see something cool, I think it's actually better than what Royal Caribbean's doing with their making of an icon. They're just letting Adam get in there. So go check that out. Bill is going on the Norwegian Sky. Nice. In 12 days. I love it. Douglas, you just paid off your next cruise. You need to book another one. Thoughts on the NCL Breakaway? I think that whole Breakaway class is fabulous. I love the Breakaway class. What I like about it, I love the whole waterfront area down below. Now, she is the first of the class, so those ships, they always evolve. They always add things as the next iterations of them come out. So I'm not really sure what the Breakaway has versus the other. We've been on the Getaway. We've been on the Escape.
Which was the second one. So the Getaway and the Breakaway are probably pretty close.
They're probably pretty close.
Although I know the Breakaway, I think their indoor-outdoor bar is a martini bar instead of the mojito bar.
Oh, same thing with the Escape. That was a different bar as well. Now, I will say on the Getaway, we had a really cool theater, like a dinner theater. I don't know if that's on the Breakaway. It definitely was not on the Escape, but we had this really cool dinner in the round. That was really awesome. So 25, Tara is going on the Explorer of the Seas out of Venice. Ooh, nice. In 25 days. Love it, love it, love it.
Although these days, Venice is a very broad, there are so many different ports that they call Venice.
Yeah. So make sure you know exactly where you're going. Like Royal Caribbean's about an hour away. With
There's
their
one of them
Venice.
It's like 3 hours away.
Yeah, it's like Rome. You can't go to Rome. It'd be really cool if you could put a ship in Rome, but that's not really going to happen. Hey, Michael, how are you? But yeah, make sure like if you're going to Venice, or especially in Europe, there's a lot of ports where you're going to a city, but you're not really. So make sure you know just how far or close you're really going to be to that city, because that comes into play when you're planning your day out, right? Douglas, I'm sorry you couldn't join the Ben and David cruise, but I'll tell you what, we were literally overwhelmed. I really appreciate the patience for everybody. If you don't know what we're talking about, Cruise with Ben and David announced their first group cruise last week. We are the travel agent for that cruise. We're their travel partner now, which is awesome. I love these guys. They've become good friends now. And a lot of people are like, how did 2 British guys end up with a guy in Orlando as a travel agent? Stephanie, we talk about Stephanie all the time, our dear friends, Sean and Steph.
Who we also represent.
Yeah, we're the travel partner for Stephanie as well. Well, we've known Stephanie for well over 10 years. And of course, you've probably seen on the channels, Stephanie, Ben, and David have become extremely close since we lost Sean. I mean, Ben and David are essentially her new brothers now. And that's how we met. We've all become very good friends. And I will tell you, and I've said this to everybody on the phone, Ben and David are actually even nicer in person, if you can believe that. I mean, they are just amazing human beings, wonderful people. And when you actually meet them, you're like, oh my God, you're even nicer than you are on camera. So yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Scott, any information on the MSC Seashore? Did something happen to the Seashore? I didn't see anything about it. If you're just asking about the ship itself, we went on the Seaside and had a great time. So the Seashore and the Seascape are the newest ones. They have an extra deck, so they're larger ships. That's the one that we're going to go on. We're planning to go do the yacht club on the Seashore only because she's coming to Port Canaveral. So it should be very convenient. Port Canaveral is only an hour from us. So I would think if we had a good time on the Seaside, the Seashore looks good. Has anybody else actually been on the Seashore yet? So if you have, please join in. Now, Norma just asked a really good question here. Walter, how do back-to-back cruises work? Do you have to get off the ship and enter customs again? Can you stay on the same room, or do you have to move? So let's just start. Number one, do you have to get off the ship? Yes.
In the U.S.
In the U.S., not in Europe, right? In
Not
Europe,
necessarily.
not necessarily in Europe. So we're going to talk about U.S. right now, because in Europe there are some different things that go on. But if you're in the United States and you're going to do a back-to-back, number one, yes, you do have to leave the ship. So typically what the cruise line will do is on the last night before the cruise ends, they're going to send a letter to everybody who's doing a back-to-back. And they're going to ask you to meet somewhere, usually like the theater or a smaller venue, and say, everybody meet here. We're going to take you all off the ship at the same time. Now, it used to be you literally walked off the ship and you walked right back on. But now with all the new rules and regulations, you could be off the ship for an hour, possibly a little bit longer.
Possibly a little less.
Yeah, possibly a little less. So they're going to lead you off the ship, and you have the option to stay in the terminal and wait. You will be the first one to let back onto the ship.
Yeah, even before suites, even before anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, you will literally be the very first one to let back on the ship. Or some people just say, you know what, they're in town, they're going to go do some shopping, they're going to go do some whatever. But you will be the first one to let back on the ship. So yes, in the U.S., you do have to leave. Now,
you don't have to bring any of your clothing. Even if you're changing rooms, you can, all your possessions
can stay on the ship.
I mean, bring your passport in case customs wants to look at it.
Exactly.
But other than that,
just bring your identification when you're walking off the ship. That's really all you need. And then can you stay in the same room? If you booked it that way, yes. So Princess, for example, actually allows us to book back-to-backs as one cruise. We book a 14-night East-West Caribbean. It's actually two different cruises, but they're allowing us to book it as one, so we can get that same
Holland
cabin.
America does the same thing.
Oh, yeah, and then Holland America does it as well. With other cruise lines, we just have to look to see. So like that Ben and David cruise that somebody mentioned just a little while ago, we can just see like the cabins on this cruise and that cruise, and then we try to do it where, okay, we'll get you the same cabin. Now, in some cases, we can't. And then what I try to do is I try to at least get you on the same deck. So then you just have to move like a couple of doors down, or sometimes people are getting a suite on one sailing and they're going to get a balcony on another. But if we can arrange it, yes, you can actually stay in your room and just leave everything right in your room.
And generally, if you do have to change rooms, you will have to pack up your luggage, and quite often your room steward or someone who assists them will help you with the moving of all your stuff to the next cabin.
So the room steward will actually help you move your stuff to the next cabin. So just get it all packed up as if you're going off the ship, and they'll just move it over to the new cabin for you in general. Michael, thank you for all the love. We try to be good travel agents. I'm glad you guys had an amazing time on your first cruise. Oh my God, I'm so excited when we book a first cruise. So I'm glad you went down there. What Carnival ships have we been on so far? Just the Mardi Gras. We've got to get on more. We see them all out there. Like we were just talking about, we're looking at was it the Horizon or the Vista? Horizon. So we really want to try out the Horizon. I really want to try out the Havana Cabana area. So that Horizon and the Vista and the Panorama supposedly have a really nice Havana Cabana area. And I've seen some of the other ships going out of Port Canaveral and Miami. So we're going to be on them soon. Doing 12 days. CEO is doing 12 days on a Norwegian Joy in October. Yes. Awesome. Frank, you cannot decide on the excursion for your Alaska cruise in 2024. Too many choices. There are a lot of choices. So I said this before, and I'll say it again, the ones that we recommend or that we actually did, and our clients are telling us they're still good. Harv and Marv in Juneau. If you're going to Juneau, Harv and Marv whale watching. They're amazing. They're a small local group, and all of our clients who have been on them this year have said, yep, they're still good. In Skagway, Temsco Helicopter, Temsco, Temsco Helicopters. Amazing tour. We were supposed to, you can book the dog sled camp. Now, unlike the other dog sled camps right there in Skagway, this one, they actually fly you up into the mountains. So hopefully you're going to get snow and you're going to do the dog sled in the snow. The only downside to that tour, there can be low-hanging clouds. And if there's low-hanging clouds, the helicopter is unsafe to fly up there. So they gave us the option. We could cancel and get a refund, or they would fly us and land us on a glacier, and we get to stay on the glacier for an hour. That's what we opted to do. And boy, was that cool. And then if you're going to Ketchikan, we had Island Air Wings book as a float plane tour. Pilot Michelle, she's supposed to be one of the best pilots up there in Alaska. Unfortunately, it was a typical Ketchikan day where the clouds were really, really low. And we saw planes taking off, and she canceled it. And she said, A, it's unsafe to be in the air. B, you're not going to see anything. We're going to be in the clouds. So I'm going to charge you money. You're not going to see anything. So those are the three: Island Air Wings in Ketchikan, Harv and Marv in Juneau, and then Temsco Helicopters in Skagway.
And I think,
and we don't recommend, we don't represent any of them. We just recommend them.
I think Skagway is the only port in our entire time of cruising that we've ever done 2 excursions on one port day.
Yeah, we did. We did the helicopter and the train.
Mm-hmm. And the train, I think we had to book through the cruise line.
Yeah, I think the white Yukon rail or whatever, that white pass in Yukon, you have to book it through the cruise line because there's just so many people coming in. So I think they make it do that. Hey, Greg, how are you? Right. Good to see you. You're booked for the Ben and David cruise. You thought they was talking about a special Facebook group. Do I know anything about that? You have to have the secret handshake. I can't. The first rule about Ben and David Facebook group, you don't talk about Ben and David Facebook group. No, I'm just kidding. Greg, keep an eye on your email. David and I have been going back and forth getting a little package ready for y'all. They're actually going to go out this afternoon. So you will have the secret handshake to get into the Facebook group this afternoon with Ben and David.
Yes, they've been cruising
just don't talk about
and traveling. So it's been.
They were on the Norwegian Viva this past week. If you haven't seen it, I don't know how they did it, but they actually edited a 45-minute walkthrough of the Norwegian Viva and posted it while they were on the ship. They literally just got home. And speaking of Ben and David, they will be live this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube. So make sure you tune into that. Cheryl, you're going on the NCL Jewel to Alaska on May 24th. Pros and cons, must do, could miss about the Jewel. Well, I just talked about the 3 things to do up there. Jewel of the Seas is away. Is that the NCL Jewel? I don't know much about it. That is a smaller ship. Certainly, you don't have all the bells and whistles. If you're taking kids with you, make sure you know what's actually on that ship. Because if you just go to Norwegian's website and they say, here's all the things you can do on our ships, they show you everything, not necessarily what's on that ship. So make sure you go to the page for that ship, click on things to do, click on the dining, click on the activities. Make sure you know what's actually available on that particular ship. That being said, you're going to be in Alaska. You're not going to be on the ship all that much. You're going to be off the ship more often than not. So I don't have any can't miss things. If anybody's been on the Norwegian Jewel and you've got some advice for Cheryl, please do pop in. But Norwegian overall is a great cruise line. I think the main dining room is a little weak, and I think the buffet is a little bit weak. Their specialty dining is really good, but the main dining room and the buffet can be a little bit weak. So yeah, and just a reminder for those of you who just tuned in, this Thursday night, we're going to have Royal Caribbean on our YouTube channel, Where's Walter Travel. Kathy from Royal Caribbean can be joining us for an hour, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, Thursday night. So if you've got questions, you want to talk directly to Royal Caribbean, certainly join in. Somebody saying MSC on the seaside food is awful. Well, we actually had great food. We were literally.
I wouldn't. Some of it was great.
Oh yeah. Some of it was great, but I was like, like the fresh mozzarella was amazing, the pizza was amazing, the burrata was amazing. The main dining room for us was better than Carnival and Norwegian, and the buffet was actually better than Carnival or Norwegian. So, we found great food. We found really good food on MSCC time, but it's like
it's not the best food we've ever had on a cruise line, but it
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Yeah, it's like any other cruise line. You're going to find the good, the bad, the ugly. I've had terrible food. I mean, let's talk about that pizza on Royal Caribbean. That is some of the worst pizza out there. But Royal Caribbean overall actually has pretty good food. So Christy is asking, do you get new key cards if you change rooms on a back-to-back? Absolutely, you're going to have to, because that key card is to that room. So you're going to end up getting
even if you stay in the same room, you still get a new key card.
I wonder how it works with the medallion. Because if we sell, now if we sell it as a one cruise, then I don't think you do.
Well, I know our very first cruise, it was sold to us as a 14-day cruise, although it was 2 7s put together.
Yeah.
And we did get, that was when they still had cards. And you did get a new card.
It'd be interesting.
When we did the meetup, I think they passed out the new cards.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I don't know how they're doing it today, to be quite honest with you. I'm betting with the medallion, they don't swap it out. They probably keep the same medallion.
Certainly if you have a cruise card, it's very likely you'll get a new one.
Yeah, very likely you're going to get a new card. Yeah.
At some point in the process.
Because the cards are generally tied to the cruise. So you're technically taking 2 cruises. When you do it back-to-back, you are taking 2 independent cruises. One cruise starts and ends, and then the next cruise starts and ends. So yeah, you're probably right. You probably do get a new card, even if you're staying in the same room. So, Bigger Andrew, you've been on the Horizon. Love it. Panorama was amazing. I'm glad you had a good time on that one, Douglas. Thank you so much. Twin 82 is going on the Western Mediterranean out of Barcelona. Lovely. I love it. Good morning, Stacy. Go home. Leave work. Go home. Get out of work. Everybody here is saying go home. You're free to go home. You have our permission to go home, Stacy. Good to see you. You're going on the, what are you going on? You're going on the Pearl this week up in Boston, right? Boston, I think so. New England and Canada. That's another one that we haven't done yet. We got to do New England and Canada. I really want to go on there. Have we been on, Joanna, you're going on ADC charter in November. Oh, that'll be cool. We haven't done a charter yet. That would be cool. I swear, though, if we got on the right ship, we could probably almost charter a ship for Ben and David. The response was amazing. Have we been on the Encore? We've not been on the Encore, no, but we have been on the Getaway and the Escape. And great ships. I mean, great ship. The Encore has the go-kart up top.
So I think that's Breakaway. I think that might be the first of the Breakaway Plus.
Yeah.
Which are the ones with the go-karts.
So she's got the go-kart track up on top, but otherwise very similar to the ships that we went on. I love that waterfront. That is like our go-to place to hang out, because I think Norwegian, I don't know why, but they make these really small pools, like as their main pools. So, trying to hang out by the pool during the day, I mean, it's just like this little pool and a lot of people sitting around it. I prefer just go down to the waterfront and just hang out down there. I do the same thing on Virgin Voyages. They have these platforms that stick out on either side of Deck 7. I like to hang out down there or on the dock in the back. So yeah, the NCL Breakaway class, lovely class of ship, absolutely lovely. So Norma is saying that they had great food at MSC. The buffet was pretty good. The MDR food was good except for one day. Fish was overcooked. Rebecca actually had that same thing, right? The fish was overcooked.
But I had really good pasta. Yeah,
the pasta was great. I had an amazing prime rib the first night. And of course, we had the bowling alley above us, which was hilarious. So, and that affogato on the MSCC side for only $7. Holy crap. I had like 3 or 4 of them during the course of the cruise. And I introduced Mindy to them, and suddenly Mindy was getting them. So we were
One thing I will say on the buffet, they probably had the blandest Indian food of any cruise line I've ever been on.
Yeah.
So the Indian food, not good.
Not so good. And I swear we needed our reading glasses to read their signs, because they had them in like 4 or 5 languages, which was cool. They had them in 4 or 5 languages, but the print was so small.
Yes. If you're over, say, 45 or 50, bring reading glasses if you want to actually read what the items you're picking are.
And I will say, MSC makes very strong coffee in the specialty places where you get the coffee. The coffee in the buffet was okay, but boy, the coffee in the specialty is amazing. That's right, Stacy. You are going on the Pearl. Yay. User 183, you just tuned in. Which cruise line is the best to go on? Okay, write this down. Disney, Princess, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, MSC, Holland America, Virgin Voyages. It depends on what you want to go on. I mean, literally, we've been on 9 different cruise lines. We've had a great time. So what we do is we match up the ship, at least we try to match up the ship with whatever kind of a vacation that our client wants to go on. So really, there is no best cruise line to go on. It's whatever has the best itinerary for what you're trying to do. Rox, you want to take a cruise with a family of 11 out of LA? Any suggestion? So, I mean, out of LA, you've got, depending on the time of year, you got Celebrity, we've got Princess. Carnival's there all year long. In fact, Carnival's sending the Firenze out there. What, next year? Next year. I think next year the Firenze will be joining. That is the new Costa by Carnival, Carnival Fun Italian style. She's going to be coming out there. The Navigator of the Seas from Royal Caribbean has been out there. Princess is going to be there.
Holland
those are like
does
the big
some
four.
stuff out of San Diego, which is close.
Yeah.
But basically, the biggest issue is the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
They have the least amount of ships out of LA because those ships have gone to Alaska.
Right. So it just depends on when you're planning to sail, because in the summertime, you're going to have very limited selection because there's about 60 ships hanging out up in Alaska, you know, Seattle, Vancouver, doing all of the Alaska routes. So if you want to sail during the summer, you're going to have a very small selection of ships. Beyond that, you know, it just depends on where you go. Like, are you going to do a Mexican Riviera? Or are you going to do a California coastline? Of course, you can always go to Hawaii and back.
Certain times of year, usually the winter months.
Yeah. So I don't really necessarily have suggestions because I don't know. So you're saying a family of 11, how many kids are there? How many adults? How many seniors are there? What does everybody like? Like, are the shows important? Is the food important? Are the port stops important? Everybody has different needs. And so, you know, you got to pick the right ship and the right itinerary based on what you need to do. But basically all year long, you're going to have Royal Caribbean, you're going to have Carnival. Celebrity had beautiful ship. They have the Solstice class sitting out there, I think almost all year round now.
Yeah.
And then Princess will have a ship sitting out there as well.
I'm not sure they do all year round.
No, I said almost all year round. I think about 6 months that the ship is out there. So I don't have any suggestions to say, hey, take this particular cruise. But if you want to reach out, we'll be more than happy to match up your family with the ship. That's what we do. We have put some pretty big groups. Well, heck, we just put 150 people on the Valiant Lady. But we do put groups together. I'm talking to another woman right now, and we're going to be putting a big family group together as well. So if you want to reach out, so we'll be glad to help. Master's asking, can you please explain the Princess package changes again? So basically with Princess, and actually I've got my little friend here, Princess Cruises. They have Princess Plus and they have Princess Premier. And the big change that they made that made everybody go crazy was Alfredo's Pizzeria. And there's another one, Gigi's Pizzeria.
Depends on the ship which they have.
Right. Are no longer going to be free. That's the big change that they made. It's going to be $14.99 for a 3-course meal. And they've rolled that into the Princess Plus and the Princess Premier. That's actually the biggest change that they made to the whole program. They took those away. And then what they also added, they have the Salty Dog Gastropub, which is a paid restaurant on the ship. It's not a free
ships.
Yeah, the ones that have it, it's a paid restaurant. Anyway, but what they did was they have a menu set aside now that if you have Princess Plus, they have an included menu. And you can get 2 meals on the ship, 2 what they call casual meals. You can go to the pizzeria, or you can go to the Salty Dog Gastropub twice on the ship, and it's included. After that, you're going to have to pay $14.99 just like everybody else. And the other really big change that they made was the Ocean Medallion service. So you can be anywhere on the ship. You can use the app. You can order a drink, you can order food, whatever they have on the menu, and they will find you because you're wearing that medallion. So if you're Princess Plus, or this is the little guy right here. So this little medallion just sits on like a little wristband or something.
Or you can wear it in the lanyard or a bracelet.
So the other big thing they did too with that was always free. You just order something and then you pay for whatever the thing was. You paid for it and then they just brought it to you. Well, now what they're saying is If you don't have Princess Plus, you don't have Princess Premier, they will charge you $14.99 the first time you order something. And then after that, there's no more charges. Then they just go ahead and deliver it to you. If you're Princess Plus or Premier, you have that for free. Also, room service is free if you have Princess Plus or Premier. So basically, they gave you even more reason to get Plus and Premier. And I always recommend Plus to our clients, or at least I recommend that our clients consider Plus. If you're going to pay the gratuities on the ship anyway, so the gratuities are included in Plus and Premier. If you're going to get Wi-Fi for the week, Wi-Fi is included in the Plus. Then you can get all drinks up to $15. So that's your coffees, your mocktails, and any alcohol, fresh pressed juices, up to $15. So if you're going to get Wi-Fi, you're going to pay for the gratuities anyway. You should take a good look at Plus, because it's about $27 per person for the drinks per day at that point. So you have a couple of coffees, you have some sodas, and 1 or 2 cocktails, you're probably going to hit $27 pretty easily most days. So those were the big changes they made. I think Princess Plus is a good program. Personally, I think it's one of the better programs out there. Like you look at Celebrity, which basically is the same thing. Oh, and then Princess Plus has, they have desserts, they have for fitness classes, they have other things that they rolled into it. And then you look at Celebrity, which is $75 a day per person. It is only gratuities, Wi-Fi, and drinks. That's it. There's nothing else added to that. So there is that. Aaron, I'll get to you in just a moment. JBB, how is the Mardi Gras food? You're leaving on September 2nd. Well, right here on TikTok and especially on YouTube. Go over to my YouTube channel, Where's Walter Travel. I have a 45-minute tour of the food. The food, it's hit or miss. It was more hits than misses. The misses were like, I had one of the worst meals I've ever had on a cruise ship, actually, in the same restaurant where I had an excellent meal like a couple days before. Go figure. So yeah, go check out my YouTube channel, Where's Walter Travel, Mardi Gras. We eat almost everything on the Carnival Mardi Gras. I have a whole Mardi Gras playlist. I have a Mardi Gras playlist right here on TikTok as well. But the food is good. The food is hit or miss. Shack Big Chicken is addictive, so be careful with that. And Carnival has some of the best coffee at sea in that Havana bar. Go to the Havana bar, get some Cuban coffee, get it every single morning. It is so good. Let's see. You sailed Norwegian Encore September 9th. You booked the train and the suspension bridge on your own. Just make sure you get back to the ship on time for sure. Tyler, you're going on the MSC Seaside today. Have a good time. That sail away party is hilarious. I still don't quite understand what I was seeing, but go on up there to the pool deck and join into that. That's going to be fun. Ooh, Criolio. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Mediterranean cruise on the Sun Princess. We just booked our first guest on the Sun Princess. I'm so excited to see that ship. I am so excited to see that ship. Oh, my goodness. Molson's going on to Mardi Gras in November. And Barbara just came back last night from the Celebrity Equinox. Oh, you had a good time. Yay! That is awesome. Boy, talk about a last-minute booking. That was literally last-minute booking. I'm glad you guys, what a beautiful ship. Celebrity Equinox is so awesome. I'm glad you had a good time. Thanks for popping in, Barbara. I love it.
Cannot wait till she comes to Port Canaveral.
Yeah. The Celebrity Equinox is coming to Port Canaveral. I mean, we can't wait till you come to Port Canaveral too, Barbara, but the Equinox is coming to Port Canaveral very soon. Aaron is asking, how much does a Princess Plus and Premier typically cost? Princess Plus is $60 a day per person. Princess Premier is $80 per day per person. Those are the current prices as of right now. Of course, they're always subject to change at any time.
And both people in the cab, at least the first 2 passengers in the cabin
must get it. So, Greg said they're doing Royal Princess to Alaska next month, which we would have known about you before we booked. Oh, that's so nice of you to say that. Hey, you know about us now, so if we can help you in the future, and you may have heard my Alaska suggestion just a few minutes ago. If you didn't, Harv and Marv in Juneau for whale watching, Thames Go helicopters in Skagway for tours, and then Pilot Michelle with Air Island Wings in Ketchikan. So do those. But you know what's now, Greg? And I can't wait to meet you. We're going to be on, if anybody's watching is on that Ben and David cruise, we are going to be there. Rebecca and I are going to be the roadies. So cannot wait. Queenie's asking, who am I talking with? That's my wife, Rebecca, sitting right off camera. She does not like to be on camera. It took me months just to get her a microphone, so I'm so excited. It used to be she would pass me notes, and I would say, Rebecca says. But now I've got a microphone. So she doesn't like to be on camera, but she has a wealth of knowledge, so she always joins on from off camera. Real Jingle Bell, hey, how are you? You're going on a Disney cruise. I love it. You're going on a Disney cruise. Disney cruises are amazing. And believe it or not, Disney cruises are very similar to Virgin Voyages. I know people think I'm crazy, but the service and the food, very, very similar experience. The CEO of Virgin Voyages used to be the CEO of Disney Cruise Line, so he brought some of that mentality over there. Fred, I'll be with you in just a minute. Julie, you just got home from the Carnival Horizon. It was amazing. Highly recommend. Thank you for that. Monica says her daughter wants to work on a cruise line. Oh, well, that could be fun. That could be fun. It's a lot of work. Just know they're going to be working.
Days. Like generally, most of the people work 6.5 days a week.
Yeah.
10 to 12-hour days.
Yeah. What I would suggest for your daughter is, so Chris Wong is a great vlogger. He's a prolific vlogger from Royal Caribbean. He's a casino dealer. He's just going over to the Icon of the Seas now. Go check out his vlog. There are other cruise vloggers out there who are allowed to post online. I don't have any recommendation for a good cruise line to work for. I can tell you that Virgin Voyages is probably the most come as you are. They pretty much let people dress the way they want to. They let people their hair colors and all of that.
Tattoos, piercings.
Yeah. And from what we're told, they're among the highest paid in the industry. So like they don't even ask for tips or anything. So that I can just tell you in terms of all the rest of the cruise lines. Oh, Erica from America too. She's a great one. We actually met her in Miami. Erica from America. She's on Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines as well. So I can't necessarily recommend a cruise line to go work for because I've not worked for any of them.
I don't know how hard it is to get on the cruise director staff. So
cruise director staff is like the most popular. If she generally the cruise director staff are people who maybe were in theater or entertainment in college. We noticed that a lot. Like that's a very similar theme to their background, especially on the Sky Princess. You could tell they all had like entertainment backgrounds, especially Sarah. You could tell she had a Broadway background. It was just amazing. So, excuse me.
Well, with her, I think it might have been a West End.
Yeah. So, Fred, 2 questions. Travel agents say if you call them, they can get you onboard credits. Is that all travel agents or just certain ones? And if we live in a different state, can we use you for a travel agent? So, first of all, we can't get you onboard credit on every single cruise. No. Certain travel agencies, especially the super cheap ones, what they do is they withdraw some of their commission and they give it back to you in onboard credit. And they're able to make that up just by sheer volume. But you're not going to get that service after the sale, right? With us, we have about 3,500 cruises that are under group rates. And what that means is that we may be able to get you a certain cruise fare, or we may be able to get you some extra amenities. But if a travel agent just saying, hey, I can always get you onboard credit, they may be giving it to you from their commission. They may be giving it to you from other ways. But we're part of a consortium. We're under KHM Travel Group. There's about 5,500, 5,800 agents working under the KHM Travel Group. And then we're also under a consortium called Travel Leaders Network, I think it is. And under that consortium, there are a lot of group rates and a lot of things that we can dip into as travel agents to help out. Now, can I work with you from another state? Yes, absolutely. I can sell to anybody in North America and lots of islands in the Caribbean.
And Canada.
I said North America.
Well, but I don't know.
Canada, I think it's part of North America.
I don't know. Can you sell to Mexico?
That I don't know, to be honest with you.
Because that's part of North America as well.
So the United States, Canada, a lot of the Caribbean, and with Virgin Voyages, I can sell to anybody in the world. And not only can I sell to anybody in the world for Virgin Voyages, I can actually sell in your native currencies as well. I have 6 different currencies I can sell in with Virgin Voyages. I wish everybody would do that, but there are these cross-border rules around the world. So like with a lot of cruise lines, if you live in the UK, like Ben and David, actually, we were talking at one point, it's like, can you just be our travel agent? And it turns out I can't for all of their travels because they live in England and there's all these cross-border rules in play. So the cruise industry hasn't really caught up to the modern world. You know, it's a global economy now. Everybody's selling to everybody. But with Virgin Voyages, I can literally sell to anybody anywhere in the world, which is actually kind of cool. So yeah, so Fred, reach out. I'd be happy to help you out. What I think where our strength comes in is making sure that you get matched up with the right vacation. That is our strength, and I think that's why we're one of the fastest growing travel agencies in our group, and it's one of the reasons why I had a sales goal for the end of 2023. We already hit it last weekend. So I think that's one of the reasons why we're growing so fast, is because we put personal service ahead of everything. And so we just want to make sure that you get a good vacation. And then as we get to know you, then we can start, we can start recommending other things to you as well. I'm sorry, little chef. You okay? All right, good. So thanks, Fred. Thanks for reaching out. Really do appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna be back in some other stuff here. Time for fun. Still going to book your first cruise. Just can't coordinate your dates and work. That's always fun. Thought the Carnival Venezia was going to Orlando as being the new home. Carnival Venezia is coming here for the winter season. 2025. Is it this winter season? No, I think it's the 2024 winter season. As far as I know, she's going back to New York.
And I think they were confused when you were talking about the Firenze out of LA.
Yeah.
Different ship.
Yeah, so the Venezia is the one that's in New York. The Firenze is the one that's coming out the end of this year or sometime next year. That's going to LA. So, you did the bobsled in Jamaica. That's fun, man. That is totally fun. If you can do that. Yeah, they had the bobsled training camp in Jamaica. That does look like a whole lot of fun. So, Nancy, I'll be with you in just a little bit, working through the TikToks. Good to know about the Havana coffee. You better believe it. If a Carnival ship has the Havana bar and they're serving Cuban coffee, go get it. It's amazing. 2 weeks to the Resilient Lady in Athens. I love it. I love it. Mardi Gras sailing September 16th. Get yourself some coffee. Belly Girl this Saturday, August 26th. Grand Princess to Alaska. And you're doing Harvin, Marv. Woohoo! And that's right, Barbara, we got you in the concierge class because basically that was all that was left. I'm glad you had a good time with the concierge class. Celebrity does a great job with their concierge. Ms. Marie just got back from the MSC Seaside and you loved it. I'm telling you, the MSC Seaside is a lot of fun. We had great food, you know. I mean, yeah, are there misses? Absolutely, there's some misses here and there, but we had great food. Now, one thing I will say about the main dining room, we were in the last seating, so 9:45, was it?
9:45.
9:45 at night. It was really late. Well, the dining room was only about half full, and as the week went on, it got less and less full. So we had none of the problems that we've heard about with the earlier seatings when the dining room's full. Our food was hot, our food was delivered quickly, and we had great service because, you know, there was only half a dining room, so it was really, really good. So,
and as always, food is highly subjective.
Highly subjective.
I mean, the things that I like are not going to necessarily be the same things that somebody who's a big meat and potatoes eater might like.
Right. Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Food is so subjective.
Very, very subjective. So where'd I get the Remy toy? He is from, I don't know if he's from Toys R Us or Disney. I don't really know. I forget where. I have so many toys. I forget where I get them sometimes. He did talk. I don't think he does anymore. I think he broke, but Patton Oswalt's voice was in here. It's great. Oh, I love my little chef. So what do I think of Princess's new ship, the Sun Princess? I cannot wait to get on the Sun Princess. She looks stunning. And as I'm watching, Adam Savage and his whole tour of the ship and all of that stuff, oh my God, I cannot wait to get on the Sun Princess. We just booked our first client on it. They got an extended balcony. I honestly didn't realize until I was looking at deck plan with them that they're putting balconies on the Sphere. I thought the Sphere was just going to be like this glass and you look out, but there's actually balconies on it, and they have extended balconies on there.
Huge looking. I mean, from the drawings.
Balconies look massive. Oh my goodness. And what a cool thing. If you go watch that Adam Savage episode that he just posted, the latest one, he talked about the cabins and how the cabins are all pre-built and how they test on, like they have a full mock-up with real cabins totally done up. Super cool. Super cool. So Nancy is asking about our very first cruise, which actually I'm going to have to post some pictures on that because I just found them. It was 2006. We went on the Caribbean Princess. We actually did it back-to-back. Our very first cruise was 14 days back-to-back. I didn't even want to go. At first, when we booked it, I was kind of excited about it. And then as we were getting closer, I'm like, I don't really want to do this. And it finally came down to Rebecca said, well, I'm going. You can come with me or you can stay home. So I was like, fine, I'll go.
And bear in mind, this was our 10th anniversary.
Our 10th anniversary.
And he threatened not to come with me.
You had to tell everybody that part. She's getting even for the whole my favorite person in the world thing from a few weeks ago. But yeah, that is true. It was our 10th wedding anniversary. We're doing a 14-day cruise back to back. We had the aft cabin, like looking straight out on the wake. And I did not want to go. And finally, when she laid down that ultimatum that I'm going, I'm like, fine, I'll go. Whatever. Let's just go do this and get it over with. And by the second or third day, we already booked our second cruise. I mean, it just blew me away. I'm like, oh my God, I love cruising. This is so awesome. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go anywhere. Everybody's waiting on me. This is awesome. So I think we may have even booked 2 cruises while we were on the ship that time. So that was our very first cruise. That was the very first cruise. Hey, Fred, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please reach out. There's links in the description or go to where'swaltertravel.com and go to the contact. You can set up a time on our calendar. I love reaching out and chatting. So that's how it works, folks. If you want to work with me, go to my contact page. There's a calendar on there. Just set up a time. And either we do a video chat or I call you and we talk about what you all want to do. Our services are free, so it costs you absolutely nothing to work with us. And we try to bring our expertise and we try to bring our connections too. As well to all the travels. So, but yeah, so the Sun Princess, I flat out love it. The dome on top, what I didn't realize until I was watching Adam's thing, you can, there's an indoor pool, but apparently you can swim under the dome and go outside. It's an indoor-outdoor pool up on the top. I was like, what? I didn't realize that. So she looks gorgeous. I'm excited about it. The other thing I learned yesterday is that she fits through the Panama Canal. I didn't realize that. I thought she was going to be too big. Yeah, the new locks, obviously, but she actually can go through the Panama Canal, so they can send her through and send her on to the West Coast, which means maybe Alaska is going to come into play, but certainly a Panama Canal route. Then they can send her to the West Coast. They can do Hawaii. I think she's a beautiful ship. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful ship. Where did I find my Holy Grail rabbit, the one that I had last week? Spencer's Gifts, if I'm not mistaken, years ago. But I want to say it was Spencer's Gift. It was down near the floor, and I saw it, and I just had to have it. So yeah. Hey, Andrew. Whoop. How are you, Andrew? It's good to see you, man. It's been a busy summer. Yeah, it's been a busy summer for us, too. Carrera, your husband would have never booked. You secretly booked it for the anniversary, and he was hooked. See? Sometimes you just got to sneak people onto the ship. I've actually said that about a few people. Who are like, oh, I'm not going to go on a cruise. And I'm like, well, we could just tell them that we're going to Port Canaveral for today, Cape Canaveral for today, and just kind of turn. Or say, hey, we're going to go to this really nice hotel in Miami. Just don't tell them that the hotel floats. We're not lying. It's still a hotel. It just happens to float, and it's going to move. We're going to leave Miami and come back to Miami. So, yeah, you could totally do that. Oh, yeah. So Christy is reminding me that on August 30th, we're going to have the reveal of the Disney treasure. Ooh, maybe we'll have a watch party. I'll just go live on TikTok and we'll just be like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. So, yeah, so we're going to see the brand new treasure. It will be interesting to see if they've listened to any of the feedback. To be honest with you, the feedback from longtime Disney cruisers is that they feel like the ship is a little bit choppy. It's not as easy to flow through, and they still prefer, say, the Disney Fantasy Dream design to the new Wish design. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they have to say. I'm also very interested to learn, will she be doing 7-night itineraries versus the 4 and the 3? I think the 4 and the 3s are way too short. Or will she start doing the 4 and the 3, and then the Wish starts doing 7? That might be more likely what they'll do, but we'll have to see. Barbara, do we have any idea which cruise ship has the largest pool or one of the largest? I will say Princess has good-sized pools.
Celebrities are pretty good size.
Celebrities are pretty good size. In fact, they have really nice indoor pools. You know, you were just on Celebrity.
Although you do have to bear in mind, this is a ship, so it's not going to be as big as a pool you'll
Yeah.
find on land.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
But I will say the MSCC side had especially deep pools, really nice deep pools. And we were really impressed. And they had a saltwater pool as well, which was really nice. So MSCC side had some of the biggest ones. So if you're saying that Equinox had super small pool, if you're talking about the main pools, yeah, they're small. That one that was in the Solstice and the Solarium, that's a big pool by cruise ship standards.
Out on the main deck are bigger than that.
Not really, because they're chopped. They're chopped.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
So those are about standard. Those are about standard, to be honest with you. You're not going to find pools that are all that much bigger than those. You go to the older ships, like the older Princess ships. They may have them. And the Edge class has a very long pool. I just don't know how deep it is in the Edge class. And then, like I said, the MSC ship, the MSC side actually really impressed us. The Jungle pool was great.
But basically on ships, none of them are going
to be huge. Yeah, just because of the weight factor. So they're not going to carry.
But it's, you know, you have to compare to, say, like the Virgin pools, which are postage stamps.
Exactly.
So compared to that, any of the pools on the Equinox are huge compared to that.
Exactly. So, whoops, let me get rid of that. So, but yeah, the pools are just not going to be really all that big. So, I'm just trying to clean up some trash here, folks. Sorry, you know, there's people who just feel like, hey, let's just come on in here and mess. You know, it takes a lot of effort to actually go searching for live streams that you just want to go in and mess with. It's like, really? This is how you're going to spend your day? Whatever. Have we done the MSC? That's not even a ship.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are not ships.
By MSC anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, block that account because, you know, once again, we're just having, I really don't understand people. So yeah, Terrera, you can just ignore that. He's trying to get me to say things on camera because, you know, I guess they're bored on a Sunday morning. They don't have better things to do. It's a really sad life if that's what, you know, if this is your fun on a Sunday morning. Oh my God, that's a very sad life.
Those are no ships. So.
Oh, Jen is saying watch party. Oh my God, and Christy's saying a watch party. Okay, so if I think about it, we will do a live watch party during the Treasure. So then we can all kind of compare notes. That would actually be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
That is a week from Wednesday. Is August 30th.
Week from Wednesday, August 30th. That would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun to do a watch party and just see what are they going to show. I'm going to be very interested to see if they're going to learn anything from the Wish. Like they were so far along in the construction, I don't think they can really change the pathways and all of that. But it will be interesting to see if they were able to tweak any design changes or anything like that.
And these days, that's quite common. The first and the second ships are built really close together, so it tends to be the third ship and beyond where changes get made. Yeah,
it's that third, because the first two are being built concurrently, so it's very, very difficult to go ahead and make changes on the second ship. Like Ben and David were just on the Norwegian Viva, and they noted that, you know, basically there were hardly any changes because that ship was more than halfway completed when the Prima came out. And the way that they build ships these days, you know, all in these blocks. So they're basically, you know, when that first ship is being assembled, the second ship, all the blocks are already being built and then they're going to come in. So it's the third ship that hasn't really started yet. When that first ship launches, they're like, okay, now we see what all of our guests are complaining about or what they don't like. Man, I was amazed at how much shopping there was on the Viva. I don't know who they think is going to do all the shopping, but there was tons of shopping on the Viva. So
I mean, I guess we're maybe not typical. I mean, Walter's shopping's usually blow up ships.
I'm going to buy the ship. If I see this on a cruise ship, I am totally buying it. I saw this within the first 10 minutes, or not this one, but the one from MSC. But in the first 10 minutes of being on MSC, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting to ship it. And it was only like $5. So this one was like $20. So Princess, you can take down the price on this.
Although I have to say, since that one's fairly generic, you're, you know, not going to have another Princess.
This does not look like a Princess ship. Whereas the Celebrity ship actually kind of looks like the ship that we were on, which at that time was either the Solstice or the Silhouette or the Reflection. That actually kind of looks like it. So, so Aaron is saying he's not had Alfredo's pizza on Princess. It's amazing. You've had Pizzeria del Capitano on Carnival. That's really good. I think Alfredo's is a little better, but if you get a nice fresh one on Pizzeria del Capitano, those are really good.
And just forgot to mention when we were talking about the pizza on Princess, there is still free pizza on Princess. It's just the sliced pizza,
but not every
at the pool.
Yeah, most ships do have sliced. I think some of them may not, but if they still have sliced by the pool, the pizza's free up there. So yeah. I think I think some of them may or may not. So, but Aaron, yeah, Sorrento's okay. Which do I prefer? You know what? I think Princess Alfredo's is the best so far, and then whatchamacallit, Virgin Voyages second, and then Pizzeria del Capitano. Hey, what? You didn't see any blow-up ship, Ben and David? Really? Come on, you got to find the blow-up ship. Although, see, now you guys were on Norwegian, so yes. Norwegian has the plushies. Did they not have the plushies on the Viva? Yeah, you got to get the plush. So we've got the plushie here, guys, from Norwegian. See, this is the Escape. And I've actually seen that they have all the other ships. So they did not have a plushie Viva?
Maybe they just didn't have it ready for the inaugural.
That's disappointing. Oh, yeah, just like Beetlejuice. It'll come out when Beetlejuice is released. Then they'll have the ship. But see, this is so much fun. We had to get one for Steph, too, because they're so comfortable. Oh, my God. I appreciate you guys popping in. How are you? You're going to be live soon. Oh, yeah, your nephew loves them, the one who's going to take over for you guys one of these days if you're not careful. I love it, guys. Thanks so much for allowing us to be your travel partner. I cannot wait to get this group cruise going. It's going to be so much fun. Oh, my God. People just said so many wonderful things about you. And, oh, you got the Starbucks mug. Ooh, that's cool. I love that you got the Starbucks mug. That is so cool. I want to get one of those.
Steph has a comment on the plushie.
Oh, the cats love the Escape plushie. That's hilarious. So this is so fun. We got Steph on TikTok. We got Ben and David over here on YouTube. It's just so hilarious. And I didn't even realize Steph says she's going on the Wish in 2 weekends. Yay, Stephanie! You're going on the Wish. I can't wait to see what you think about it. That's going to be amazing. Andrew's asking, when is our next cruise? Actually, our next cruise is going to be Thanksgiving, which is sold out. The Valiant Lady is 100% sold out. So it's going to be very interesting for us to cruise on the Valiant Lady and see what it's like, you know, absolutely full, because we've not experienced that yet. But we have, I think, 28 people coming with us. We have a nice little group coming on the Valiant Lady for 8 nights. We're going to get to experience all the restaurants this time in one shot. I'm so excited. I love the food on Virgin so much. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going on Virgin Voyages, never been on Virgin Voyages, you get on the ship, you drop your bags off in the room, because the rooms will be open when you get on the ship, because we get on the ship in the afternoon, and then go straight down to the dock on the back of Deck 7. You're going to have tapas down there. You're going to have some shrimp. You're going to have some sort of grilled meats.
There's some salady things that we've never quite gotten around to getting.
Why would you get salady things to start with?
I mean, like,
you wouldn't.
Like, like Mediterranean.
Yeah, no, a little Mediterranean thing. But, you know.
And dips. Like
dips.
Hummus.
They got dips. We got dips, too.
But and
then they got a great cocktail.
To getting those yet.
Yeah, so, and then they got great cocktails, too. So the best way to start a Virgin Voyages cruise is on Deck 7. At the dock. So yes, Ben and David, I cannot wait for this group cruise. It's going to be so much fun. If you have booked on the group cruise, your emails are going to start going out today. We've got David and I have been going back and forth on. He's got a beautiful little document that he's created. So I'll start sending those out today, along with an updated confirmation. So if you're booked on that cruise and you're wondering why you haven't gotten the updated confirmation, it's going out today. So, or they're going to start going out today. So yay. So thank you, guys. And just remember Ben and David are going to be live at 4 p.m. Eastern today on their channel. So yay. It's going to be so fun to see what you guys are. They have 10 cruises booked. 10. My goodness, we have 1. That's sad. So yeah, we need to start working on that. So,
although we don't technically have our cabin yet, we have 2, because we're going to be on the group cruise.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're going to be on the group cruise. So we have 2 plans. So we're going to be Ben and David's roadies. So Ben, you just need to let me know, how do you like your coffee or tea? David, you as well. I will make sure that you are taken care of. I'll be your personal rock star agent for the cruise. So I'll be taking orders. I'll have my little thing. Okay, Ben needs and David needs, So I'll just take care of everything for you guys. I can get a little earpiece and I can be your little security dude, just blocking. So all that stuff. Anyway, it's gonna be so much fun. It really is. It's gonna be. Can you tell I like what I do? I love being a travel agent. I never realized I was gonna have so much fun being a travel agent, and I love it. I love being able to send you guys on amazing vacation and then to get, the pictures back and oh my goodness gracious. Let's see, Andrew, is there a t-shirt for this group cruise? Are you talking about the Ben and David cruise or the so for Thanksgiving, we're actually giving everybody the shirt that I'm wearing right now. This one, it says to travel is to live on the back of it, I think. Yes, it does. But yeah, so we're giving everybody this one. Ben and David, they don't know. Oh, wait. We have breaking news. Coffee every day, please. Milk and 1 lump of sugar for Ben. Just a dash of milk for David. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna write this down. Yeah, let me just take this. Yep, I got it. I'm on it, guys. I'm totally on it. Just so you guys know, David actually sent a Dunkin' Donuts to us on the first day that we were doing the order. They're on the Norwegian Viva somewhere in the Mediterranean, and Dunkin' Donuts shows up at my door, and it's from David. That's so amazing. So the technology is such that we can now send Dunkin' Donuts, and then he sent some to Stephanie as well, which was amazing. So thank you, guys. You guys are the best. I love this. Oh, look at Becky. Becky is learning from Ben. Will slap me with a mustache and call me Ben. I love it. Love it. Oh, milk, not cream. Oh, that's right. That's right. You call, what is it? The last time I heard somebody from England said cream is an abomination. It's not real. It's got to be milk. All right, fine. I'll do with the milk. I'm sure if I do it wrong the first time, you're just going to do that spit take right in my face. So I'll get it right the next time.
Yeah, kind of Devil Wears Prada style.
Yeah, you can totally do that. You can totally pull that one. Show everybody. Oh, just make sure I'm rolling on my phone before you do it so we get a TikTok out of it. Anyway, Terrera, you wish you could go on a cruise with it? Yeah, well, you can go on a cruise with us. Come on, let's go on a cruise together. We're going to be setting up, now that the Celebrity Equinox is coming to Port Canaveral, we are thinking about setting up a group cruise on the Celebrity Equinox with us. And I'm also looking at the Sun Princess when she comes over, maybe setting up a little group on the Sun Princess as well. But we're down with it. We're down with that. Ben's going to steal that one. Ben, I don't know where you come up with all the sayings and whatnot, but they are some of the funniest in the world. If you have not seen Ben and David's Christmas river cruise, I think it's one of the funniest series they've ever done. You guys were just so fun. It was such a beautiful cruise too. And I'll be honest, that series actually has helped us share with other clients. They're like, well, what is it really like? I'm like, well, go watch Ben and David. I mean, this is what it's like. And that is such a beautiful. So if you've not seen Ben and David's Christmas Wonderland cruise or Christmas Marketplace cruise, what a beautiful, absolutely stunningly cruise there is. Hey, Ben, I like this idea. Maybe we should do a do your best Ben impersonation on the group cruise. That would be hilarious. We can get 10 contestants. Come on up and do the best Ben-ism, shall we say? Write that down. I think that would be really good for the group cruise. Let's have the best. Who's the best Ben on the cruise?
Who can come up with the best Ben-ish statement?
Stephanie, I'm so excited for the Thanksgiving cruise too. Single cruises. Hey, Betty. So solo cabins are available on Virgin Voyages, Celebrity Cruise Line. Norwegian Cruise Line has the whole studio area. And believe it or not, Royal Caribbean actually has quite a few solo cabins, but they're spread throughout the fleet. They only have a couple on each ship. But if you're looking to really meet other people, the way to do that, you can do that on any cruise line, to be honest with you. If you're looking for a more adult-centric, obviously Virgin Voyages, Celebrity. Princess does not have solo cabins. Good place to meet people, though. But the best way to meet people is to just start doing things. Do trivia. If there's arts and crafts, if there's games, if there's things like that, get involved with that. And there's usually a team. It's like, hey, are you by yourself? Come on over and join us. And then you start meeting people. And that's usually how we'll see a single person like, hey, come on over, join the team. We're doing whatever. So that's a great way to meet people pretty much on any cruise ship, any cruise line. So, but specifically for singles, Virgin Voyages, Celebrity has solo cabin. Norwegian is real famous for the whole studio area. So
and
probably
most
the best
cruise
ones.
lines will have singles meetups, usually unhosted, but they'll have little time specific at some bar
Just
or
meet
other
up.
where you can meet up with other single people.
Exactly. So Christy is saying that she'd like to see a group cruise in Alaska. I think that would be amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I would very much, because I want to get back to Alaska. So I think when we finally set that up, we can do that. I've even suggested to some other folks, yeah, we should do a group cruise up there. Cindy, my personal concierge services. Yes. See that I go above and beyond. When I'm actually on the ship, I will go above and beyond and get you stuff. Why not? Hey, Brian and Connie, how are you? Good to see you. Pip, hey, you're cruising with Richard Branson in a week. That's right. It's good to see you, Pip. So yes, she's doing the so they're doing the big what is it, the 50th anniversary of Virgin or something like that, of Virgin Enterprises, like the whole company. So Pip is on that cruise. Richard Branson's going to be on that cruise. They're going to be doing like TED Talks and all these other things about how Virgin got started, how they do the marketing and all that. Oh, Pip, I'm so excited. Please, I can't remember if you're in our Facebook group yet. We've got a private Facebook group. Please, please, please join that group. I would love to see some pictures. Get a picture with Richard. That would be so awesome. Dinner with Richard on the second night. Wait, what? Like actual dinner with Richard? Is there is he going to have like a group dinner? Oh my goodness gracious. You're welcome, Betty. Hey, and if we can help you out, please do reach out. There's links on TikTok, or just go to where'swaltertravel.com, go into my contact page, just set up an appointment. I would love to give you a call and talk and see, what can we do to help you get on a ship. Johnny Miller, you're going to be on the Carnival Dream. What's my opinion on the ship? I have not been on the Dream. I will tell you, it seems to be a beloved ship based on comments that I've seen, on the John Heald page. My good friends, This Cruise Life, they love Carnival, and they seem to have liked that ship as well. If anybody is watching, had been on the Carnival Dream, if you got thoughts, but I've not been on that ship, but I like Carnival as a cruise line. I'll tell you what, when they say they have a fun squad, they have a fun squad. They were so much fun. The trivia, the games, all the stuff they were doing. They really are a fun bunch. And I will say, I saw some of that come over to the Sky Princess, because that cruise director staff that we had on the Sky Princess, they were on it all day. We had trivia going until 10 o'clock at night, and they were on it all over the place. So it almost seems like some of that, the fun squad from Carnival has kind of come over to Princess, and I think it's a really good thing. So I think you're going to be going to have a great time. Angela from Georgia, you're going on your first cruise September 18th. Welcome to the cruise family. This is so awesome. I love people going on their first cruise. I hope you have an amazing, amazing time. Rosalie, you just returned from your summer cruise. Awesome. That is so awesome. Yay, Johnny Miller, you're welcome. You're welcome. So yeah, 2026 Alaska group cruise. Yeah, we can do 2025, not 2026 yet. You're welcome, Angela. I'm just, I get so excited when people go on their first cruise, because you don't really know what it's like. Like, we can talk about it all we want. You can watch Ben and David. You can watch Stephanie. You can watch all the stuff you want to watch until you actually get on the ship. It was so cute when Christy Hamill, they went on their first cruise, and she's texting me going, oh my God, the ship is huge. They were going on Liberty or Independence, or one of those two. And you don't appreciate the size of these things until you get there. And you really don't appreciate the size of a cruise ship until you get to your first port. Because when you get on the ship at the terminal, it's like an aircraft, ramp, and you just kind of walk onto the ship, and you're like, yeah, this ship's kind of big. But when you get off at a port, and you actually get off at the bottom of the ship, and then you look up, and you're like, holy crap, is that what we're on? You really do appreciate it. So, yeah.
And I will say, a lot of people are always concerned about seasickness. And
yes,
it's obviously a valid concern.
Very valid.
A lot of those people
right there,
are getting seasick on, say, little fishing boats.
Yeah.
Which you may or may not get sick on a big cruise ship if you get sick on a smaller vessel.
Yeah. So, I always bring this little guy out, but, basically if you're on your very first cruise, we try to put you middle, lower, because that's the smoothest area of the ship. The higher you go on the ship, like you know, you can feel some of that rocking back and forth like that. Especially if the and it doesn't have to be rough weather for that to happen. It can just be these rolling swells, which we had on the Norwegian Escape. We had beautiful weather, but our first cruise back, they actually had the barf bags out for 2 days because we just had these big rolling swells, and the ship was going parallel to the swell, so the ship was doing this. And, you know, it's just something you can't, you know, avoid, unfortunately. It was the Liberty. So Stephanie is talking about the C-bands, and that's actually the brand name of it, C-band. She has a whole bunch of them. She gets bad seasickness. She's almost been on 100 cruises. So take it from Stephanie. Those C-bands work. We've been told that ginger candy works. Green apples work. So, and of course, if you're going to try that patch that goes behind the ear, I strongly recommend that you check with your doctor first, because there can be side effects. That's why, you know, people ask me, are those things good? I don't recommend them until you check with your doctor, because you really do want to check, make sure there's not going to be any side effects or anything like that. But like Stephanie said, there's the C-bands. It does a pressure point on your wrist. And she's been on almost 100 cruises, and she gets seasickness. So, and she has the biggest eyes in the world in Icy Strait Point when that zip line opens. I've had multiple people talk about booking a cruise with Icy Strait Point because of Ben, David, and Stephanie, and especially Stephanie's eyes that just like fly off the screen when the gate opens up. Stephanie, the only thing you haven't done for us is shown us that in slow motion. I really want to see that in slow motion. That was so funny. And Stephanie basically lit the zip line on fire. She went so fast down that thing. So now I want to do it. I really do want to do it. So I really, really do. So Norma was saying on the MSC, that MSC could learn a few things from the Carnival Fun Squad. I know what you're talking about. The guys that host the trivia are not exactly the most fun.
There was one of them that was pretty good.
One of them was pretty good, but for the most part, it's like, yeah, and they're trying to make jokes that aren't really working. But yes, I think anybody can learn from the Fun Squad. I think Norwegian, Princess, and Carnival definitely have the most fun squads.
Although,
for sure.
I will say we haven't yet made it to trivia on Virgin, so I'm not sure what their trivia is like.
Gotcha.
But the rest of their staff seems great, so
yeah.
I'm betting their trivia is pretty fun.
Ben and David are saying Bonnie or the off-brand version worked best for us. You need to try all the different options to see what works best for you. So see, even Ben and David, you know, have seasickness things that they do. I mean, everybody can feel it. The only time that we really felt it, and it was our fault, we were on Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas, and at that time they were showing a 3D movie, like Penguin from Madagascar.
In the main theater.
And so the ship was moving, and so, you know, the ship is kind of doing this, and the movie's doing this, you know, in 3D. And so we started to feel it, but that's the only time that I've ever felt it. Otherwise, it starts to make me laugh. If I'm up in the buffet and I'm trying to walk to my table and I'm doing that drunk walk because I can't walk straight, it actually makes me laugh. But thank you guys. That's awesome.
We are very fortunate in that it has not seemed so far, other than that Freedom of the Seas incident, to be an issue.
Yeah. So, Terrera, you said you got sick one time on your first cruise when they had to speed up. Otherwise, you're fine. Yeah, sometimes like it's just that speed. Sometimes people get thrown off when the thrusters kick in, and all of a sudden the ship like wobbles as it starts to go into the dock. That can be a little bit upsetting for people too. Just Shannon, you only got seasick once. You were in Florida. Otherwise, you're
coming
fine.
out of New York.
Oh, coming out of.
Yeah, it does. It can be rough up more in the North Atlantic.
Gotcha.
And obviously, if you're doing a crossing, there is the potential for rough weather when you're crossing either the Atlantic or the Pacific.
Yeah. So Fred is saying that his wife's gotten seasick on every cruise you've been on. She tried everything but the green apples. What do they do to help? I don't know what they do, but the crew swears by them. You know, if you ask a crew member, most of them will say, "Oh, get green apples. Get green apples." I don't know what exactly they do, but the crew members swear by green apples if you get sick. So if somebody else knows, but I don't know. I just know that the crew recommends them, and if the crew recommends them, you know, that's good. You know, if you get sick as your MD for the patch or OTC antivert bonine, yeah. I mean, like I said, if you're going to do the patch thing, make sure you check with your doctor, because there are some, issues with them. There are some side effects, and you want to make sure, especially if you're taking medication, make sure that thing is not going to, start crossing wires with that medication. Stephanie said the green apples never work for her. She just turns green. Well, then you can be in Wicked. You could be, what's her name? Who's the green one in Wicked? I don't know. Can you sing, Steph?
No,
if you could sing, you could start singing Defying Gravity. That would be killer. Oh, there we go. Jen says it's the pectin in the green apple that helps. Oh, thank you, Jen. That is awesome. And since I don't know whether you're correct or not, I'm going to go, yes, that's absolutely right.
That sounds good to me.
That sounds good. I love it. Thank you so much. That's why I love doing these Sunday morning, because you never know what you're going to learn. By the way, I never did say it's 127 days to Christmas. So if you haven't gotten your Christmas gifts yet, a cruise is a very nice Christmas gift for a family friend. Oh, hey, now Ben is speaking my language, or David, I don't know which one. Green apple martinis work. Green apples and alcohol. Oh, that's going to work great. Just have about 4 of them. You won't even know the ship's moving. There you go. You'll just be passed out. Seasickness gone. I love it. 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 That is so good. Yeah, Steph can't sing. I can't sing. But what I can do very well. I can do the private karaoke. We're going to have to do some private karaoke for sure. Steph, Stacy, what's your, I don't know. What ship? I love it. So Stacy's so funny. Stacy's one of our clients, group strep 51299 there on TikTok. And what's so funny about Steph and Stacy, I can't get you guys straight. Stacy, she's ordering things on Sky Princess with her ocean medallion, and she could be walking down the hall and they'd find her. Here you go, ma'am. I could be sitting in the same place for an hour and they couldn't find me.
It seemed like some of the times they may have delivered the thing to somebody else.
I think they did, or they just canceled the ticket because they're like, oh, we delivered it. I'm like, I've been sitting right here for an hour. Stacy goes walking around the ship and they just chase her around. Ma'am, here's your drink. It was so fun. Let's see. Aaron, did I see something about your Thursday night talking about the icon of the seas? You did. So on Thursday night, let me go ahead and get your graphic off of there. I've got, if you're interested at all about Royal Caribbean, you got questions about Royal Caribbean, especially the icon of the seas coming out, Utopia of the Seas is coming out. Kathy from Royal Caribbean is going to be with Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube for an hour. So if you've got questions at all about Royal Caribbean, that is a great time to ask questions. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the icon. We're scheduled to be on a preview sailing. So I think she launches January 27th. So we'll probably sail like that week right before she launches. Usually they'll do like 1 or 2 like media and or preview sailings. So we're scheduled to be on one of the preview sailings. So hopefully we'll get on it that week. But yeah, so if you want to talk about Royal Caribbean and you want to talk directly to Royal Caribbean, Kathy, who is our business representative, will be there. She's amazing. She's awesome. This is one of the things I love about being a travel agent is that we have, direct connections with folks. Like I had an issue. Unfortunately, we couldn't solve the issue on Carnival, but I didn't call into the call center. I actually reached out to my contact and said, hey, can we try to do something here? And, to her credit, she did that. She tried. And then on Virgin Voyages with this huge group cruise that we're doing with Ben and David, my contact here in Florida, she's all over it. I mean, she is all over it. And it doesn't matter whether it's a group cruise or just a standard cruise. She is all over everything. So that's one of the things that I really love. So if you want to talk to Royal Caribbean, you want to talk to Royal Caribbean directly, Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel, exclusively on the YouTube channel. On Sunday mornings, we do this simulcast because I really do enjoy setting this up so everybody can join in. In case you're wondering, it's actually 2 streams because TikTok does not allow a third party to feed into TikTok. So I actually have a camera set up doing YouTube, and I got my phone set up doing TikTok, and the 2 are right side by side. So that's how we're able to do this on Sunday mornings. And I only do it Sunday mornings, and I only do it when we're home. I would not try this on a ship. It's just a little too much. Any comments on the NCL Jade? Well, she's a smaller ship. Again, similar comments to what I said before. If you're going on Norwegian and you're like, oh, wow, they've got water slides, they've got these restaurants, they've got this entertainment. When it comes to the smaller ship, they don't have everything. It's going to be much more limited of what they have on board. So make sure you know what's actually on that ship, not just what's on Norwegian in general. I have gotten comments from people that, oh, I thought Norwegian was a great cruise line. I took my kids on like the Pearl or the Gem or the Jade, and it's like, it doesn't have everything. It doesn't have all those water slides. It doesn't have like all the bells and whistles that the kids might have been expecting because it's Norwegian Cruise Line. So just make sure you know what's on the ship. Norwegian as a cruise line, fantastic cruise line. And that's a smaller ship, so it's going to be a different experience. Doesn't mean it's going to be any worse, any better. Look at Ben, David, and Stephanie. They just went on the Spirit in Hawaii and Alaska. It's the smallest ship in the fleet. And they had an amazing time. They just gave it a whole $100 million makeover, and the ship looked gorgeous, and they had a great time. So it's a different experience when you go onto a smaller ship. That's all. Nothing better, nothing worse about it. So, oh, thank you, Stacy. I can't wait. Hopefully, last Thursday I felt bad. We were supposed to have Norwegian Cruise Lines, and they had a massive storm in Miami. It actually knocked out Lily's power. So we're going to reschedule Norwegian Cruise Line to come back on another day. Yeah, so I felt really bad about that. That's why last Thursday didn't happen. And I said, you know what? We're not even going to try to do something ourselves. I just kept going with the Ben and David group cruise. I was making calls up until 11 p.m. Eastern time. It was crazy.
Was that the day it finally sold out?
Thursday might have been the day it sold out. Yeah, and what a great story. I'm not going to tell the story now, but what an amazing story. The last person who booked has an amazing story about how Ben and David helped him, and they don't even know it. So I can't wait to tell Ben and David that story. It was actually a rather emotional phone call. The last person who ended up booking, and I cannot wait to meet him on board and to hear the rest of the story. It was a lovely story, and it's going to be. I cannot wait for Ben and David to get to meet him on board. I think it's going to be an emotional moment for me. I know it's going to be an emotional moment for me because Ben and David don't even know what they did, but they changed his life basically just by being them. Stephanie, Ben, David, they're just like positive lights in the world, and they're the kind of people that we need to have in this world. So you guys may not realize it, but you have an amazing impact on a lot of people, including me. Stephanie has had a huge impact on me for sure. Just with our friendship, Sean, huge impact on me. Sean was the one. He was probably my biggest cheerleader when I had my other company. But hearing all the stories from the people as I was booking them, I don't think Ben and David really realized the impact that they've had on a lot of lives. And Stephanie the same way. I was actually joking with them. There was one person who said, "Oh, well, we'll think about it." And then they asked if Stephanie was going to be on board. And when I said yes, then they just immediately booked because it was like Stephanie. They want to see Stephanie. But just talking to everybody, I don't really think the three of you really realize the impact that you have on so many people out there. So beautiful thing you guys are doing. We need people like you in the world. We need that positive light in the world. So just keep doing what you're doing. You guys are amazing. You guys are absolutely amazing. Johnny, you see lots of back and forth on a personal, personal vacation
planner, I think.
Planner or a TA. What's my opinion on them? So the personal vacation planner works for the cruise line or works for the travel partner, right? So their job is to make sure that you don't go anywhere else. All right. So if you call Carnival, you got a personal planner. You call Princess, you got a personal planner. They are going to be, their job is to make sure you do not leave and go somewhere else. I am an independent travel agent. My job is to work for you and to give you the best vacation. I don't care which cruise line it's on. I don't care. It may not even be a cruise. We may end up booking you a land tour in Scotland because that's the best thing for what you want to do. So I have unlimited options almost that I can present to you. Whereas the personal vacation planner, they work for Carnival. Their job is to make sure you book a Carnival cruise. My job is to make sure you have the best vacation you can possibly have. And I honestly don't care which travel planner it is or travel partner that we work with. I just want you to have the best vacation for whatever it is you're looking for. That's the biggest difference. And that's why we always worked with independent travel agents. We've been cruising almost 20 years. We always use a travel agent for all of our travels. And now I just kind of carry that forward. I just kind of pay that forward. So my opinion is you use an independent travel advisor because we can book you on anybody. personal vacation planner can only book you whoever they're working for. So, Cindy, you're enjoying the interviews on Thursday. Thank you. We're really trying to like differentiate Thursdays. I'm really my travel partners have been so excited to join in. So that's awesome. Somebody on YouTube is asking, what is Steph's YouTube channel? Sean and Steph, SEAN. And Steph, STEF. Actually, you're watching on YouTube. There's a link in my description to Sean and Steph channel in there. So go over there. Definitely subscribe to Sean and Steph. Make sure you're subscribed to Cruise with Ben and David, Pero DJ, all these wonderful people. Debbie is saying the celebrity solstice is so cheap in Alaska. Can I tell you why? I don't know. Why does the cruise line price anything? I don't know. One of the big things about Alaska, there's too many ships up there. There's like 60 ships up there. So what you start having is some of the ships maybe aren't selling quite as well, or some of the actual itineraries are not selling quite as well. So we're going to drop prices on them. That's usually what it is. But it's supply and demand. You know, I think there's actually too many ships up there right now, if I'm being very honest. But I know that Princess and Holland, they're selling very well. So I really do not know. Renee, you've been on the NTL Sky and the Sun. You love both of those. I would really like to go on some of those smaller ships. Stephanie, when are we having dinner? We're gonna have dinner. We're gonna have dinner soon. Yes, Sean was. Yeah, we were just 3 weeks too late. I really wanted to give Sean one more hug. But Steph, I love you so much. Thank you. Yes, Stacy, I can book fun anywhere. Valley Girl, we're doing an amazing job for the land tour in Portugal. Oh, that's right. That's right. I can't keep all the handles straight, but I'm glad. I can't wait till we can actually book that Portugal trip. That is one of the cool things. So, it's not like I know everything. It's not like I know everything about travel, but we have amazing partners. And so Anne came to us about going to Portugal, and can you put together a custom Portugal tour? We have an amazing partner that does just that. And Julie is my contact. Julie's my direct line, and Julie and I just talk about these things. And she comes back. You can literally just say, I want to arrive on this day. I want to go there for a couple of days. I want to go here for a couple of days. I want to go there for a couple of days. You figure it out. And then Julie and I talk, and like 2 hours later, Julie comes back with the most amazing itineraries, and then we just work back and forth from there. So I'm really glad we're able to work with you on that, and we will do we'll do our best we can, and then we'll stand by. We can always follow up and things like that. But it's so nice to have that direct connection. Whereas, if you just call into, ABC Tour Company, hopefully you're going to get a good person. But again, you call into ABC Tour Company, that tour company, that is their job to keep you there. I do, while I go to Julie quite a bit, I have about 4 or 5 other primary tour operators over in Europe that I can use. So, again, I'm going to make sure that I get the best deal for you guys. So.
Oh, and just a reminder, if anybody is asking something about Virgin Voyages, shorten it to VV, because for some reason TikTok blocks all comments
I
on
see
Virgin.
that some comments have been filtered, and if you say the word Virgin, like Virgin Voyages, they're going to filter it out. So if I always keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
So you have to say VV or spell Virgin wrong, or just say Voyages. So so Christy's saying something too. If there's an emergency, we can handle the call instead of you sitting on hold. So, and I'll give you a great example of that. I've talked about this before. We had 31 people booked on a 50th birthday cruise on Royal Caribbean. And for whatever reason, we still don't know why, Royal Caribbean canceled that one cruise. It was a 3-night cruise on the Liberty of the Seas. Canceled that one cruise. So I got 31 people on a ship. 1:30 in the afternoon, we get the email. My client thought I was joking. I called my client and I said, I don't know if you've seen the email, but Royal Caribbean just canceled your cruise. And she's like, no. I said, yes, they have. I said, however, so Liberty of Seas is going out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami. I can't remember which. But the Freedom of the Seas was doing basically the same itinerary, just at the other port, either Fort Lauderdale or Miami. And I said, look, the ship's about half full already. If you want me to, I can move you over, and then I can start reaching out to everybody and move everybody over. And so she said, yes, move me. So what I did, I sent an email blast to everybody, one shot, and I said, look, the host is going to this ship, to Freedom of the Seas. If you would like to go with her, just respond to this email, yes or no. That's all you need to tell me. And I was on the phone with Royal Caribbean for 3.5 hours, and out of the 31 original people, 28 said, yes, I want to go. And I had all 28 of them 3.5 hours later. They're on the Freedom of the Seas. The birthday cruise still happened. They weren't all in the same cabin. The shame of it was I had them all lined up. Like I had like 10 or 12 cabins lined up, so they would have been able to open up all those balconies. Oh my God, that would have been amazing with all the balconies. Of course, when we moved them, couldn't do it because everything was half sold. But
that was because they originally booked what, like 8 months out.
We booked like 6 months out, 8 months out. This was 2 months before the cruise when all of this happened. So that's another thing that a travel agent can do for you, a good one anyway. This is my full-time job. I mean, there are a lot of my colleagues that do it part-time. God bless them. I don't know how they do it. More power to them if they can work full-time and do this. Oh my God, that's just amazing. But I do this full-time. So when that came down, I was ready. I mean, I was on the phone within minutes, and I never got off the phone with Royal. I just kept looking at my emails. Okay, I got another one. We're going to move this person. Okay, I got another one. We're going to move this person. Okay, so I never got off the phone. I had my agent. We stayed on the phone for 3.5 hours. And to their credit, they were amazing too. At one point, I got like 10 responses. He's like, okay, give me all 10 of them now. And he just went in and just started grabbing cabins. He's like, I'm just going to grab cabins, and I'll get the names and everything later. And that's what we did. So like in about an hour and a half, we actually had all the cabins, and then we spent an hour and a half getting all the names associated with the cabins. So
even smaller things like the person had a problem finding where to meet for their shore excursion in Alaska.
That was hilarious. I get a phone call from Alaska, and I'm like, aren't you in Alaska? He goes, yeah, but I can't find my tour. Where is it? And it was a shore excursions group thing. And what had happened was the store where they were supposed to meet either wasn't open yet or it had closed down, and they just moved the tour a couple doors down, but they never got that to the folks. While I'm on the phone, they found it. But even something like that. And then your mom, she was on a cruise in the Mediterranean, and for whatever reason, the Barcelona hotel canceled her hotel stay. So we got her another hotel room while she was on the ship. So
actually on Mother's Day. That was my Mother's Day present.
That was a Mother's Day present. We booked her a new cabin. So, hey, guys. I've been at this for an hour and a half. I've got a phone call in exactly 30 minutes to talk to somebody. Actually, that person who wants to go like all over the world. So I'm going to remind you, Thursday night, join us on YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to talk to Royal Caribbean or you want to learn more about Royal Caribbean, come join us. And of course, every Sunday morning, we're right back here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on TikTok. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Ben and David, wow, thank you so much for coming in. Stephanie, as always, I love seeing you on here. I can't wait. Stephanie, come on, please. Let's have dinner soon, please. And Ben and David, the next time you guys are here, I'm making a pasta, just like I promised. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you Thursday night on YouTube. In fact, everybody over there on YouTube, y'all have a great rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in.